Good afternoon and welcome to Lariat TV News. I'm Igor Stepchinsky.
And I'm Grace Smith. We'll start today with the question, have you gotten your flu shot yet? Flu season is upon us, and according to a recent poll, many people think that the flu shot does more harm than good. LTV and Sarah Gill talked to Baylor health experts to get their take on this controversial topic and found out that science doesn't support popular myths.
I think that the flu shot gives you the flu. I've heard that they inject you with the virus and that a lot of the times it can kind of backfire and just give you the virus instead of protecting you from it.
You may see signs on campus or around town reminding you to get a flu shot. There are many myths surrounding this vaccination, so I went to the Baylor Health Center to try and get some answers.
One that we hear the most is that you can catch the flu from the flu vaccine. That is not true. Proteins that are in the vaccine are killed virus, so they cannot infect you at all.
Other students have a different opinion about this vaccination.
With how many people go to the same areas, live in the same residence halls, and go to the same dining halls, I think that can be really significant in protecting against transmission of the flu around campus.
You know, your arm can be sore for a little bit, or you can feel a little run down for a few hours, but at the end of the day, I think it's always worth it.
I think a lot of people assume that the flu shot gives you the flu, but I don't think they actually know that it does.
Dr. Stern tells us why so many people get confused.
People associate because of the time. They get a flu shot and a couple of days later they get a cold. It's because they went to a place where there were lots of people with colds, and that's how we catch viruses, is from other people who have the virus.
The vaccine takes 2 weeks before it can be effective, so head to the Student Health Center to get yours soon. For Lariat TV News, I'm Sarah Gill.
2 students were selected to participate in a program aiming to end the addiction epidemic that exists today. This is a year-long fellowship for any college student who has a strong passion for collegiate recovery. The SAFE Project is a national nonprofit, and students accepted will create a project that can be used on their campus. Joshua Robinson, a senior biochemistry major from Memphis, Tennessee, said his project will focus on the correlation between physical exercise and addiction recovery. Katie Cameron, a sophomore health, kinesiology, and leisure studies major from San Diego, is awaiting approval for her project, but says it is going to be an overview of mental illness.
I'm really just hoping that faculty, staff, and just the Baylor family overall are going to gain a better understanding of what it's like to be a student in recovery, because there are a lot of stigmas around students in recovery, and I'm really just looking to break those and kind of further educate everybody on what it really means.
Yeah, same here. I'm really just looking to help better educate people about addiction recovery and what goes into that, and just to kind of help break some stigmas and open some people's eyes.
Students hoping to fight cyber threats came together on Tuesday for the annual Hackfest competition. This coincides with Cybersecurity Awareness Month and Baylor's 3rd annual Cyber Day. I attended Hackfest and have the behind-the-scenes view of what this cyber competition is really like. This is Hackfest, where teams compete against each other in a King of the Mountain conquest of servers.
We are trying to create real-world situations where there are servers that are out there, maybe running your company, and there are vulnerabilities that you don't know about. And it's the student's job to find those vulnerabilities and break into those servers. And these are real-world kinds of jobs that graduates of our various programs here at Baylor in cybersecurity will get, where they will be employed to go try to find the weaknesses of the servers. And really that is a service to those companies, because you'd much rather your employees find the weaknesses and fix them than you would the bad guys from the other side of the world to find those weaknesses and exploit them.
The more systems these students can hack into, plant their flag, and not let the other teams get to them, the more points they will earn. And the team with the most points wins this Hackfest competition. For Lariat TV News, I'm Grace Smith.
Gamma Alpha Epsilon, Baylor's unofficial student-run LGBTQ club, has a new meeting space. The club's gatherings have moved from the Student Union building to a room in the Mars McLean Science Building. Gamma says they do not have an official room designated by Baylor yet, but hopes to do so in the future. From the latest presidential perspective email, President Livingston said that the university initiated focused group discussions among student leaders and members of the Faculty Senate that will explore the best ways to support the educational experience of LGBTQ students within the context of the school's Christian mission.
Baylor professors collaborated to create an app that can detect if a child could possibly have eye cancer. Dr. Brian Shaw, a chemistry professor, was inspired to create this app named Cradle after his son was diagnosed with retinoblastoma. I talked with professors and even tried the app out for myself.
You're getting a leukocoria scan. Every single video frame is being scanned for a white pupillary reflex. And
Two Baylor professors came together and created an app that can detect eye cancer. Cradle is easy to access for all parents and can detect if a child has white eye before even going to the doctor. The university's chemistry professor, Dr. Brian Shaw, was inspired to create this app after his own son, Noah, was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, an eye cancer that affects children up to 5 years old.
the Eye Detector App will search through a parent's pictures, and it will alert the parent if a white pupillary reflex is detected in the picture. A white pupillary reflex can be a symptom of a bunch of different eye disorders. Some of them are common and fairly harmless, like refractive error. Your kid just needs glasses. Others are deadly, retinoblastoma, eye cancer, cancer of the retina.
With the help of Greg Hammerly, a computer science professor, and others, they used a technology called machine learning, using examples of white pupils and normal eyes to train the network of the app to distinguish between the two.
A real problem that seems like it was easily attacked by the tools that we have in machine learning, and it felt like a really good way to improve the world. So, you know, the research aspect is there because nobody had done it, nobody had tackled this before, and the impact factor is there because, you know, it has a real impact on a lot of people.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Grace Smith.
According to the United States Public Interest Research Group, only 35% of Americans recycle. Two Baylor students decided they wanted to make a change starting in their community. They started by creating a local plan for local apartment complexes with the goal of environmental sustainability. LTVN's Brenshavia Jordan spoke with the creators of this plan to hear how this initiative can make a difference.
Two students created a survey to start recycling systems in student apartments.
I discovered that the apartment complexes in Waco don't have recycling, and I wanted to do something about that. The first apartment complex I worked with was Ursa. We created a study or a survey that was 9 questions long, and we sent it out to the residents of Ursa, and we were able to bring in recycling for free to Ursa. And then afterwards we sent up a follow-up survey just seeing how effective having the recycling in there was, how often they recycled, if they recycled or not, and then just kind of some follow-up questions on the survey that we sent beforehand.
The average American creates 4 pounds of waste each day. Of the 4 pounds, half can be recycled. 70% of students now using the system. They hope to continue to expand the movement to more apartments.
We only have one planet, and I think that we need to remember that, and people taking the initiative to make the change now is really important, and hopefully will motivate and inspire others to join the same movement.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Brenshavia Jordan.
Up next, we share the details of what is expected to bring up to 40,000 people into Waco this weekend.
We also have a look inside the mentorship that is taking place between Baylor student athletes and children in the Waco community. All this and more after the break.
The best and brightest are drawn to Baylor, where those from many backgrounds with many talents shine together before casting their light outward to illuminate the world. Through transformational learning opportunities that are grounded in Christian faith and service, and research that impacts lives and communities. Baylor University, a place where lights shine bright.
Trick or treat, Baylor students celebrated Hump Day with the Greeks. The National Pan-Hellenic Council threw a Halloween celebration in Russell Gym Wednesday amid the stressful week of midterms. I have the inside spook of this event and show us the true motive for hosting this event. Halloween is just around the tombstone, and these students wanted to celebrate the Eek in Greek. The Baylor National Pan-Hellenic Council hosted a Halloween edition Hump Day celebration on Wednesday in Russell Gym with free food, dancing, and music.
So we're the Care Bears. As Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, we just love the community. We care so much about every single body, so we make sure to show that and demonstrate that with everything that we do.
The event also hosted a Halloween costume competition open to all Baylor students looking to dress up and strut their stuff.
having a day where we can just like relax and like have fun together and socialize, but also being able to bring the rest of the Black community and even people who aren't part of the Black community at Baylor to be able to just come and have fun with us as well.
With all ooky spooky things aside, these students hope events like this will increase minority representation on Baylor's campus.
Like Greek life is definitely like a big aspect of Black culture, so being able to bring that onto Baylor's campus and like a place where definitely the minority is something that's definitely important. With everyone being able to just come together and kind of have like a moment to just chill out, relax, to have like a time to be able to just socialize and have fun.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Igor Stepchinsky.
Magnolia is hosting its annual celebration this weekend through Saturday. The event will have a Ferris wheel, a sold-out rooftop picnic, and over 40 artisan vendors and food trucks from all over the United States. Musicians Johnny Swim and Josh Garles will perform an after-hours concert. The celebration will take place by the Silos at 601 Webster Avenue in downtown Waco. In addition, major brands plan to be a part of the event, including Insacts by Fujifilm, Kills Paint, and Topo Chico. More than 40,000 visitors are expected to tour Chip and Joanna's Retail Center. For a schedule of events and a list of vendors, go to magnolia.com.
If there is one thing Waco can't get enough of, it's coffee shops. Lighthouse stepped in to fill Waco's void and become the city's one and only multi-roaster coffee shop. The grand opening of Lighthouse, located on Washington Avenue, is coming up October 26th. General Manager Joseph Brower explains why Waco needs a place like Lighthouse.
Everybody's moving towards roasting their own coffee, and that's a big trend in coffee right now. A lot of people are moving away from what's called a multi-roaster system, where you hold other people's coffees and you showcase those to highlight the best roasters in the nation. And so that's kind of what we wanted to do. Dichotomy used to do that, Common Grounds used to do that, because we think there's a lot of good coffee in the rest of the country, and we wanted to highlight that.
Baylor's student athletes are not just spending time in their college classrooms. They are also investing in the lives of young students and making an impact in the Waco community. This mentorship is showing that a few hours a week of service can make a life-changing difference for a child. LTVN's Benshavia Jordan got a closer look at how the program connects to students.
Our Bears for Books program has been around for the past 3 years. What we do is that we try to look for schools that are kind of having a little trouble with reading comprehension, and so we target third graders specifically.
Volunteering weekly, these athletes get a chance to spend time reading and playing games with the students.
The impact that the Baylor athletes have on our kids is life-changing. The program has changed the atmosphere of our school. It gives the kids hope when they see the athletes come in.
In the little kids' books, they had some words that was kind of big for them, and just hearing them sound it out and being able to recognize what that word is and what it means.
It's super important to come out here and read to the kids just because literacy is so important in these kids, and they want to see role models that are going to college and they're doing all these amazing things.
With the focus on youth literacy, Bears for Books continues to grow, impacting the lives of 300 students at 5 schools within the Waco community, giving them joy and hope to look forward to. The students are celebrated at a Baylor basketball game, and one student from each school is recognized for their success in reading. With the busy schedule between practice and classes, these athletes show being great first starts in the classroom.
The 2019 season has been kind to both the Bears' football and volleyball teams, with the football team currently sporting a record of 6-0 and sitting at the top of the Big 12, and the volleyball team leading the Big 12 with a record of 15-0. Baylor is the only school in the country that has both an undefeated football team and an undefeated volleyball team. LTVN's Nate Smith asked students what they think is the secret behind Baylor's current athletic success.
I think Baylor Athletics has been so successful because of the great leadership and the amazing spirit that comes from all the students that support it.
Baylor Athletics have been super successful because of students like me, going to the games, and yeah, I don't know where they'd be without me, to be honest.
I think Baylor Athletics have been successful so far because of great leadership and all the school spirit.
Up next, we have a preview as the football team heads undefeated into this Saturday's away game at Oklahoma State.
Sports with Drake is coming up after this short break. Stay tuned.
At Baylor, our lights shine
while we push our limits
and guide the way.
At Baylor, our lights shine as we're making connections
and making an impression.
As leaders.
And as part of something bigger.
Baylor's light shines around the world, but it starts in each of us.
Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Across fall athletics, it's a great time to be a Bear fan. Baylor football is undefeated and number 18 in the nation after desaddling the Texas Tech Red Raiders in double overtime last Saturday. This week, the Bears play the other Saddle Riders from Stillwater, but will lack one of their best defenders for an extended period of time.
Baylor football is fresh off of a homecoming double overtime win against Texas Tech.
Proud of our guys. Obviously have a lot of improvement to do, but in the end, they found a way, and the team stepped up. And with a minute 19 and 99 yards to go, they found a way to get it done.
But this week sees the 6-0 and 18th ranked Bears travel to Stillwater to play 4-2 Oklahoma State.
Obviously, they're coming off a bye week. We're going to their homecoming. There's a lot of things that are stacked against us, and we'll do our best just to try to play football and have fun doing it.
The Bears must play this week and the rest of their season without one of their key players, as Clay Johnston is out for the year after a knee injury that occurred on this play.
The biggest thing is that Clay was going sideline to sideline and making up for a lot of other guys' mistakes. And so, as I told the team, is everyone replace Clay. Everyone do your job a little bit better.
Without Johnston, the Bears are in a common spot as underdogs this weekend, but this team has thrived in crucial scenarios.
I just think that when they're in big moments, those guys, they kind of relax and play. And I think that's really, if you want to be in these games, you have to have that. And not everyone has it. Lots of guys like to play when they're front runners. These guys like to play when it's a crucial moment.
Kickoff from Stillwater is at 3 p.m. on Fox. For Lariat TV News, I'm Drake Toll. The Bears soccer team has a pivotal match tonight as they'll kick off at 7 p.m. against the Texas Longhorns at Betty Lou Mays Field. This matchup comes on the heels of a hard-fought 2-1 overtime loss at the hands of Oklahoma in Norman. After jumping out to an early lead thanks to a goal by Elizabeth Kuhlman in the 13th minute, the Bears stayed ahead until the 77th minute, where they allowed a game-tying goal before allowing a game-deciding golden goal in the 93rd minute. After tonight's match, the Bears will travel to Fort Worth to resume last week's matchup with TCU, which was postponed due to lightning, with the Bears ahead 1-0. Baylor Volleyball remained undefeated after thrashing TCU in Fort Worth last Saturday. The match was the team's 9th straight sweep and 15th win consecutively. Coach McGuire and Tara Wolf have found consistency in preparation and joy, while Hannah Locken has prepared for another rowdy crowd to help the team in their home game this Saturday against Texas Tech.
Ultimately, we're going to be the same team no matter what. Coach tells us that we're number 1, but we train like we're number 2. We train like we're number 25. We train like we're not even ranked. So I think that we're the same team as we were yesterday, today, and hopefully the same team when we get to the national championship.
From day one, 5 years ago, I just wanted this to be the greatest volleyball experience ever for them. And when we can learn how to play with great joy and fun, doesn't mean it's easy, but when you can play with joy, then you bring the best part of yourselves to the table.
Everyone's engaged. When Yossi goes up to hit the bic, the place explodes. That's just not something new, but something that has definitely increased and is just so exciting and gets us fired up. So yeah, it's awesome.
The men's golf team finished off TCU in their final round of Big 12 match play on Sunday with a resounding 6-0 sweep of the Horned Frogs. Cooper Dossie, Johnny Kiefer, and Colin Kober were dominant in the win. The Bears also defeated Oklahoma State on the weekend and will play their final fall tournament by hosting the Royal Oaks Intercollegiate next week in Dallas. The women's team most recently finished 7th out of 15 schools at the Betsy Royals Invitational and placed 3 individuals in the top 30 overall. Elodie Chapelet finished 16th individually and leads the Lady Bears into their final fall tournament later this month in Paradise Island, Bahamas. On to the tennis court, the Baylor women's team will be sending the doubles pair of Christina Sorokolet and Daria Rakitskaya to the ITA Texas Regionals in College Station this weekend. The two have never competed together in doubles, yet they have a combined record of 9-5 in singles. For Coach Bolin and the Baylor men's team, Constantine Franson and Matias Soto represented the program at the ITA All-American Championships in Tulsa last weekend with a successful run in the main draw. 14th ranked Soto also advanced to the 3rd round in singles play. The Bears will host the ITA Regionals at the Herd Center later this month. And that's all I have in sports today.
Thanks for watching Lariat TV News. Watch us on YouTube, BaylorLariat.com, or the Waco City Channel.
We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, Baylor Nation.